So today is the first day. In a few days, I'm going to be sharing from Melody Beattie's book, Codependent No More. And we're going to start with open versus closed system. In this situation, we're talking about love versus addiction. Addiction, we know, is when we seek a solution that's outside of ourselves, whether it's drugs or alcohol, changing the situation, like some people become escape artists, or switching to a new lover. We know that it's one-sided when it's an addiction. There's denial, fantasy, overestimation of the other's commitment. However, we're going to now look at love versus addiction. So love, there's room to grow, expand, a desire for others also to grow and expand. In addiction, there's a dependency that's based on the security and the comfort, and where the intensity of the need and infatuation is proof of love, which is really like fear, insecurity, and loneliness. With love, there are separate interests, whether there's other friends, maintaining other meaningful relationships, and there's encouragement of each other's expanding and secure in own worth. With addiction or obsession, it's like total involvement, limited social life, and neglecting old friends and interests, and a preoccupation with the other's behavior, dependent on the other's approval for one's own identity and self-worth. With love, there's trusting the openness, mutual integrity is preserved. However, with addiction, one partner's needs are suspended for the others. There's a self-deprivation, and there's jealousy, possessiveness, fearing competition, protecting the supply. Love is a willingness to risk and be real, and room for exploration of feelings in and out of the relationship, and the ability to even enjoy being alone. Addiction is searching for the perfect invulnerability, which eliminates all possible risk, and a reassurance through repeated ritualized activity. There's an intolerance where the person's unable to endure the separations, even in a conflict, hanging on even tighter and undergoing a withdrawal. Like it could even look like lethargy, restlessness, disoriented, agony, loss of appetite. In love, we accept the breakup without feeling a loss of our own adequacy and self-worth. And we want what's best for the partner. Even if we have to be apart, we can become friends. But with addiction, we feel inadequate, worthless. There's a one-sided decision feeling, and it could even be a violent ending with hate, trying to inflict pain, manipulation, doing whatever to get the other back, all these possibilities. What are some activities that could be helpful? I'll share two here now, because she gives activities at different points in the book. At least once a day, check in asking the self what's needed for the sake of care, but maybe even every hour if it's during a crisis, and do what's needed or give what's needed to ourselves. The other activity is what is needed from the people around me. Identify at an appropriate time, sit down with them and ask. Okay, let's continue. There are many myths. One, and I'll read through them. It's not okay to feel angry. Anger is a waste of time and energy. Good and nice people don't feel angry. We shouldn't feel angry when we do. We'll lose control, go crazy if we get angry. People will go away if we get angry with them. Other people should never feel anger toward us. If others get angry with us, we must have done something wrong. If others are angry with us, we made them feel it, and we're responsible for fixing their feelings. If we feel angry, someone made us feel that way, and that person's responsible for fixing our feelings. If we feel angry with someone, the relationship's over and that person has to go away. If we feel angry, we should punish the person for making us feel angry. If we feel angry, we have to hit someone, or shout or holler or break something. If we feel angry, the person has to change what she or he is doing so that we don't feel angry anymore. If we feel angry with someone, it means we don't love the other person. Or if someone's angry with us, it means they don't love us anymore. Anger is a sinful emotion. It's okay to feel angry when we can justify our feelings only. So she goes on to say there are some ways to deal with anger, whether it's new or old ways. We can address any myths we have subscribed to about anger and give permission to feel angry when we need to, and to others as well. We can feel the emotion. It's not a right or wrong emotion. It's energy in motion and has underlying emotions too. And it doesn't need judgment, justification, or rationalization. We can acknowledge thoughts that are going with the feelings and examine the thinking that goes with the feeling as repetitions, patterns, And from there, we don't have to let the anger control us. We can become peaceful, we can move, we can get safe, we can be free of fear of the anger. We can make a responsible decision about what or if any actions are needed to figure out what it's telling us. Is there a problem in myself, in my environment? Does something need to change? Do I need something from someone else? Is there a self-care issue? I want to just give an example of even just something so simple, hangry. When someone's very hungry, I experienced that today with someone else. I was with them and they were just starving after we went swimming in two different pools, like a warm pool and a regular lap pool, and walking all the way there and showering and walking back, and they started getting really cranky, and I realized, we're probably both hungry. Anyway, moving on. And people know about that one, right? When also when people are very tired. So they could be that simple, but it doesn't mean, but in those cases, are we going to say we're so terrible for getting angry? No. And with other things too, it's that simple. We may not be getting enough attention. We may be around someone who has a tendency to be judgmental. We need to check in with our things for ourselves. Openly and honestly discussing anger when appropriate, it's really taking responsibility for anger. We don't get stuck in blaming. We know it's our own feelings, and we can be aware of how we approach. We don't vent our rage. We feel the feelings and think thoughts and figure out what we need. Then we go back to him or her and express. And we can also just not go directly to that person that we might be having a conflict with. We can talk to people we trust and who listen. Being listened to and being accepted can help us have the clarity to feel cared about and to then understand ourselves. So some activities to do are review grief and personal process. And how do I feel about myself? What are some likes and dislikes? And I've journaled about these kind of things. I would recommend you try these. I'm going to talk about some basically that the relationship between thoughts and feelings. Thoughts are key to feelings and feelings are key to thoughts. We can let them pass and learn from them. We can treat our mind to some peace, consistency with enough time for certainty, asking God to help us think. And we don't have to abuse our minds, using it for worry. We can stop obsessions and feed our mind information that's helpful and relevant in an appropriate amount, and feed our mind healthy thoughts. We can indulge in activities that uplift our positive charge into this, which basically equals I can, not I can't. We can stretch our mind, learning, reading, discovering, exploring. We can stop saying bad things about our mind, like doubts, for example. We can use our mind. We make decisions. We have and make opinions. We express and create and think things through and choose for ourselves and self-care. We gain confidence by letting others do for themselves too and be responsible. And we can grow, and others around us are allowed to grow by, and all of this can be with mistakes through our choices. And we can write things down and commit to them. This is a great way to build self-esteem. We focus, we have organization, non-attachment, and by letting go of the outcome, we can take these baby steps instead of the perfectionism that paralyzes us. We can just keep going, not constantly measuring, doing what can be done. It's a process, and acknowledging and crediting the goals that we have reached, but also accepting when we feel disappointed. It can happen if we expected an accomplishment or to fix everything, for example, to be worth all the work. That's what's called often magical thinking. My therapist reminds me sometimes that I'm having irrational beliefs or cognitive distortions. For example, that I'm going to be friends with everyone, or that everyone is, or that I'm always going to find a way to get along with everyone. We can turn everything into a goal. Realizations of relationship, travel, experience, changing appearances, new and specific possessions. So I want to reframe this. When we turn things into a goal, it stops being the, I'm going to back up for a second and say we have to omit shoulds. I should be doing this. It should be this way. That they limit us, these shoulds. And we can go for all of it without trying to portion control, which will happen as per natural and supernatural pathways automatically. So here we're talking about like just letting life have its limits when it has them, but we don't have to limit things with shoulds. Like, it should be this way. Let's see what it will be. Like, kind of like that. And I should have that. Let's see what I have and what I could get. So then when we turn everything into a goal, we could start to say, like, okay, I might be feeling like I want to escape myself because I was jealous. So we can say, well, I want to attain a trait or shed a trait. So I want to be generous and I want to let go of being jealous. And then we could turn it into a goal. That's when we start to take baby steps, write things down, right? That's when we start to make progress. Whether it's, realizations of relationship, like, I want to be more conscious with this and this person. That's what some examples were: travel, experience. Could say, I want to travel to this neighborhood in my city, which I've never been to, or I want to experience, instead of feeling like insecure because someone else went there and you don't know about it. Or an experience is to maybe try a new food. And instead of like complaining, like, we turn things into goals, whether it's changing our appearance. Like, we'd say, that person's so beautiful. Well, what if I change my hair? What if I feel better about a different hairstyle? And then whether it's new or specific possessions, like, we might say, well, I want to try using gold paint, or, if you're an artist, or I want to get a notebook that has a combination locker. It reminds me of my childhood, a diary. Whether it's a certain income, for someone it might be like, I want to find a job where I make such and such amount and then I don't have to worry about money and I'll just do the job. I want to be secure. Or career, which could be someone wants to become, a divorce lawyer. For whatever reason their experiences cause them to want to do that. So instead of saying, like, I'm so upset with the world, we say, I want to be a divorce lawyer. I want to help people in that area. And spiritual practice. So let's say, instead of saying, like, I get so anxious, we could say, I want to learn how to meditate every day for 10, 20 minutes. So I'm going to stop here. This is a lot of great stuff from her book. And we have plenty more to go. I'm probably going to be spending another... let's see how many more sessions. At least 2. Yeah, probably 2 more. 2 more is probably will be enough. So, yeah. Wishing you well, wishing you joy and miracles. Bye.